Okay, so total 8 schools participating. Out of these 8 schools, only one school will represent at the zonal level. That you know very well. Okay, and and next thing is that from each and every school, we will select 6 best speakers also. Okay, so 6 best speakers also we will select from each and every school, and we will give the prizes to them also. And out of this 8, only one is participating at the zonal level, but 2 schools also, that first, second, third prizes will be given to you, and participation certificates also will be given to you. Okay, this is clear. And now the criteria what we observe here, you know very well, 1 hour, maximum 1 hour will be given to you, right? And the members must be 50 to 55, you know very well. And this observation seat, assessment seat, I would like to tell you this one, the criteria, how many marks are allotted to the each item and all that, right? Discipline and decorum is concerned, we are giving 10 marks. And observation of parliamentary procedures, 20 marks. Selection of subjects for the questions and supplementaries, and quality of answers there too, we are giving 20 marks. Selection of subjects for the debates, so we are giving 10 marks. Quality of the speeches delivered and standard of debates, 30 marks. So general assessment of the performance as a whole, 10 marks. So this is the criteria, total 100 marks. Out of 100 marks, we are getting the highest, and they will represent, they are the winner, they will represent at the zonal level. Okay, is it clear? Now, that's chest numbers also must be visible to us. So we are sitting there now, so that when you get up and when you speak something, we don't know your name, we only will write the chest number. We don't know your school name also, because the coding is done, and we don't know which school you are coming from, and we don't know the children's name also. So very transparently, we have to assess the performance of the children. Okay. So my dear children, without taking much of your time, with the permission of the chair, and we will start the program. Okay. Are you ready? Okay, so wish you all the best. Thank you.
Good afternoon, honorable members. I welcome you all to this session of Youth Parliament. I trust that today's deliberations will be fruitful, reflecting the diverse perspectives of our nation's youth on matter of national importance. Before we proceed, I request the Secretary General to call upon the newly elected members for their oath or affirmation.
Shriman Virat, who stands selected from the Palli constituency of Rajasthan, will now take the oath or affirmation. Shriman, would you like to take the oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In English, please. I, Virat, having been elected as the member of the lower house of this youth parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, by law established, and I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Madam Shri Devi, who stands selected from the Mysuru constituency of Karnataka, will now take the oath of affirmation. Madam, would you like to take the oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
In Hindi, please. मैं श्रीदेवी कुमारी ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ कि मैं इस पद की गरिमा को बनाए रखने के लिए अपना संपूर्ण योगदान दूंगी तथा कानून संगत व्यवहार सच्ची निष्ठा से करूंगी। भारत की संप्रभुता, एकता और अखंडता को बनाए रखूंगी और सभी के साथ न्याय के लिए निरंतर कार्य करती रहूंगी। जय हिंद।
Honorable members, it is my solemn duty to inform the House of the sad demise of Shri Ratan Tata. Shri Ratan Tata, a visionary industrialist, philanthropist, and a true beacon of the Indian industry. Under his leadership, the Tata Group expanded globally with landmark acquisitions like Tetley, Chorus, Jaguar Land Rover, and the Tata Nano, which reflected his pioneering spirit. Under his philanthropy, the Tata Group transformed under his philanthropy, the education, healthcare, and rural development of countless underprivileged communities, touching countless lives. His loss is a profound blow to the country, especially to the youth, who saw him as a true role model. We extend our deepest condolences to his family during this difficult time.
Today, with heavy hearts, we mourn the loss of Shri Ratan Naval Tata, a name synonymous with integrity, innovation, and a deep-seated commitment for the betterment of society. His loss is not just a loss to the Tata Group, but a profound loss to India and the entire world. As we reflect on his life and legacy, we're reminded of his inspiring words, his dedication to innovation, and his unwavering belief in the potential of India. We are forever grateful for his monumental contributions and offer our sincere condolences to his family. May his spirit and influence live on.
आज हम श्री रतन नवल टाटा को श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करते हैं, एक ऐसी महान विभूति जिन्होंने दूरदर्शी नेतृत्व, अटूट ईमानदारी और गहन करुणा का उदाहरण प्रस्तुत किया। वे केवल एक उद्योगपति नहीं थे, बल्कि सच्चे राष्ट्रमाता और प्रेरणा स्रोत थे। उनके परिवर्तनकारी नेतृत्व में टाटा समूह ने वैश्विक स्तर पर एक विशेष पहचान बनाई। श्री रतन टाटा की संयमित विनम्रता और ऊंचे लक्ष्य रखने वाला स्वभाव उन्हें व्यापक सम्मान और स्नेह का पात्र बनाता है। उनका जीवन इस विचार का सजीव उदाहरण है कि सच्ची सफलता वही है जो समाज की भलाई में निहित हो। उनकी मानवता और सेवा की स्थायी विरासत आने वाली पीढ़ियों को सदा प्रेरणा देती रहेगी। श्रद्धांजलि।
The House will now stand in silence for a minute to honor his immense contributions and memory. Secretary General may convey the message of condolences to the bereaved family.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister, please introduce the new ministers to the House.
Madam Speaker, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce to you and through you to the House my esteemed colleagues who have joined the Council of Ministers. Respected Swapnil, Minister of Rural Development and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Respected Akshara, Minister of Railways.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. We now move on to the question hour. Honorable members may now ask questions relating to the administration of the government. Question number 101, Honorable Member Trilok from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We are living in a country, India, where 6.5% of our GDP goes to communication sector, but 665 million people of my country are still living in digital darkness. We are living in a country, India, where we are ranked 7th in cybersecurity, but till now we receive 7,000 complaints daily and crores of rupees are lost due to weak cyber infrastructure.
Member, please get to the point.
But, Madam Speaker, these lines are not told by the opposition, but the common people who elected them as their leaders. But I would get to the point. Would the Minister of Communication be pleased to state, with the increasing reliance on digital platforms for communication and services, how's the Ministry strengthening the regulatory framework and implementing new technology for data protection and cyber infrastructure? Mainly creating awareness among the elder people and young citizens of our country about cybercrime and how to protect themselves from cybercrime is most important. As new technologies are emerging like 5G and IoT, using those technology for a better communication purpose is a must.
Minister of Communications, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, it is unfortunate that the opposition chooses to problems without acknowledging the significant progress that has been made in these recent years. Yes. While criticism is easy, constructive contribution towards a solution has been lacking from their side. Yes. That being said, I appreciate that the respected member has at least brought forward the issue of cybercrime and digital awareness in India. While the concern is valid, it is important to highlight that the government has already taken strong steps. Through initiatives like Digital India, PM Wani and BharatNet, efforts are being made to improve internet access in rural areas. To address cybersecurity, bodies like CERT-in and NCCC have been established, and the data protection bill is still in progress. Though digital
Members,
literacy,
please.
especially among elderly, remains a challenge, it is important to highlight that it's a global issue and not unique to India. I repeat, a global issue and not unique to India.
Members, please.
Government and NGOs are also running several awareness campaigns, especially post-COVID. And furthermore, with the rise of technologies like 5G and IoT, the ministry is ensuring proper guidelines and security protocols are in place before wide-scale implementation. Thus, I would like to say that India is not only aware of the rising challenges, but is also actively working to address them.
Any supplementaries?
No, Madam.
Question number 102, Honorable Member Amit from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Every morning, crores of citizens, especially in the cities of Mumbai, Bangalore and Delhi, step out wearing masks, not just to avoid illness, but to survive the choking air caused by the construction dust and the unchecked industrial emission. Despite years of promises and schemes by the ruling government, the air we breathe continues to worsen. The recent reports show that the Delhi's AQI remained in severe category for over 20 days last winter, affecting the school-going children, elderly, and the working citizens alike. When pollution becomes a part of daily life, it's no longer just an environmental issue.
it becomes a question of governance and accountability. Will the Honorable Minister of Environment kindly inform this House whether the Ministry has taken any new initiative to control and monitor the construction and emission-related pollutions, and what accountability measures are in place for the violators of environmental norms?
Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, please.
Thank you, Honorable Madam. And I also thank the Honorable Member for raising this important question. Yes, the government has taken several new initiatives to monitor and control industrial emissions and construction-related pollution in urban areas, such as expansion of Continuous Emission Monitoring System or CEMS. Industries in highly polluting sectors are now mandated to install real-time emission monitoring devices linked to the Central Pollution Control Board, as well as National Clean Air Program, that is NCAP, was launched to reduce particulate pollution by 20 to 30% in 131 non-attainment cities by 2026. It includes funds for pollution monitoring, public awareness, and dust suppression. Furthermore, guidelines for dust control at construction sites, the government has issued standard operating procedures for construction activities to reduce dust generation. Regular inspections and penalties are enforced for non-compliance. Additionally, satellite data and remote sensing is being used for better surveillance of emissions and illegal construction practices. Since you have asked for some accountability measures, violators face strict actions, including fines, closure notices, and prosecution under the Environment Protection Act 1986. The environmental compensation mechanism is applied based on the polluter pays principle.
Any supplementaries?
No, Madam Speaker.
Question number 103, Honorable Member Parthiv from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister of New and Renewable Energy be pleased to stay? Given India's increasing energy requirements and its commitment to sustainable development, what immediate steps is the government taking to enhance the capacity and resilience of the national power grid to meet rising demand and enable efficient integration of renewable energy sources, promote self-reliance in the energy sector by encouraging domestic production of solar modules, battery storage systems, and related technologies, and improve the financial and operational performance of power distribution companies, especially in regions facing high losses and frequent power disruptions. It is deeply concerning that despite repeated assurances, the ground-level improvements remain far below expectations. The public deserves clear answers, not just announcements.
Minister of New and Renewable Energy, please.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. It is unfortunate that the opposition continues to downplay the government's consistent and measurable progress in the energy sector, choosing instead to question efforts that are already yielding results. In response to a question raised by the Honorable Member, I would like to state the following. Firstly, to enhance the national power grid, the government is implementing green energy corridors and smart grid technologies to support rising demands and renewable integration. Also, to promote self-reliance schemes like the production-linked incentives (PLI) are encouraging domestic manufacturing of solar modules and battery storage systems. Furthermore, to improve DISCOM performance, the Revamped Distribution Sector Scheme (RDSS) is being executed to reduce losses and ensure reliable power supply. These initiatives reflect the government's unwavering commitment to a secure, sustainable and self-reliant energy sector.
Any supplementaries?
No, Madam.
Question number 104, Honorable Member Sanvi from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister of Youth Affairs be pleased to state, given the importance of youth mental well-being and recognizing the critical need to address emotional and psychological challenges during formative years, mental health challenges among the youth are rising sharply. Are there national programs
Members,
being
please
launched
maintain
to
silence.
ensure psychological support in schools, colleges and rural youth centers?
Minister of Youth Affairs, please.
Honorable Speaker, I appreciate the Honorable Member for asking such a critical question on youth mental health, which is a priority that our government takes with the utmost seriousness. We have many government initiatives for youth mental health. Firstly, we have the Mandorpan initiative. Launched during the pandemic, this initiative provides a toll-free helpline staffed by trained psychologists. Over 5 lakh students have accessed this helpline since 2020. Next, we have the NAAC mandate for colleges. Now, colleges and universities are required to have a dedicated counseling cell in order to receive accreditation from the NAAC. Following this, we have the Kiran Helpline, a 24/7 mental health rehabilitation initiative started in collaboration with the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. This offers support in up to 13 languages. Lastly, we have an integration with the Arogya Setu app, which now contains an emotional well-being section for self-assessment tools.
Any supplementaries?
Yes, madam. How are rural youth being included in mental health initiatives?
Minister of Youth Affairs, please.
I appreciate the supplementary question, as it rightly highlights the need to ensure that mental health access reaches even the most remote corners of our country, especially in rural areas, where lack of infrastructure as well as stigma can often create barriers. So, we have targeted initiatives for rural mental health. Firstly, we have the District Mental Health Program, or DHMP. Now, this provides over 800 districts with mobile mental health units that offer free screenings as well as free therapy sessions.
Members, please.
Next, we have Common Service Centers, or CSCs. Over 5,000 CSCs have been established in collaboration with Telemanas. They offer incentives to rural operators in order to increase support. Lastly, we have the Chupi Todo campaign, which conducts street plays as well as community dialogues in up to 15,000 villages in order to increase awareness.
No more questions, please. Question number 105, Honorable Member Trisha from the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister of Commerce state whether the government has taken any recent steps to boost in light of global economic challenges? And if so, what specific policies have been implemented by the Indian exporters to reduce the trade deficits?
Minister of Commerce, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to tell the esteemed member that our government has implemented several measures to boost exports and enhance global economic trade challenges, including the foreign trade policy. The FTP serves a comprehensive framework in promoting exports and reducing trade deficits, infrastructure development, communication and transportation infrastructure improvements, enhancing the connecting India with its neighboring countries are made. International trade agreements. India engages in international trade agreements to expand its market access for its products. One district, one product. Districts as export hubs. This ensures the product which has export potential qualities or values. Production linked schemes, PLI schemes, have already been implemented by our government.
Any supplementaries?
No, Madam.
Question number 106, Honorable Member Darshini from the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister of Women and Child Welfare be pleased to state what new steps are being taken to ensure the safety of girls in school and public places?
Minister of Women and Child Welfare, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Ministry of Women and Child Development is deeply committed to ensuring the safety and security of girls in educational institutions and public spaces. Several new measures have been taken recently. Cameras are installed in schools and public spaces to ensure constant monitoring and quick action. The Ministry of Women and Child Development is promoting self-defense training programs in schools. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act is being implemented with special codes and fast-track system. Under the POCSO Act,
Initiatives like Shri
Members, please.
are also in place to enable women to access support online hassle-free. Under the Safe City project, more women are being posted in and around educational institutions and public spaces to ensure a safe, secure environment.
Any supplementaries?
No, madam.
Yes, Honorable Member Anantalakshmi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Data shows that over 40% of adolescent girls still lack access to sanitary napkins in government schools. What
Members,
steps
please.
are being taken to resolve this basic issue of health and dignity?
Minister of Women and Child Development, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The government recognizes menstrual hygiene as a crucial public health issue. To address this, under Jan Aushadhi scheme, oxy-biodegradable sanitary napkins are made and available at just ₹1 and distributed through
Members, please maintain the decorum.
rural areas. The toilets with disposal units are added in schools under Swachh Vidyalaya Abhiyan. This is a matter of dignity, health and right, and we are committed to accelerating change.
Question number 107. Honorable Member Shri from the opposition.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam. Will the Minister of Defence be pleased to state whether the government has taken any recent steps on the Pahalgam attack, what actions does the government taken, and what measures have been taken to ensure the security in Jammu and Kashmir?
Minister of Defence, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, the government has taken swift and decisive action. Following the tragic attack, high-level meetings were conducted and a targeted military operation, Operation Sindhu, was launched to dismantle terror camps across the border, ensuring minimum civilian risk. The security at Jammu and Kashmir has been significantly enhanced. Facial recognition technology has been deployed at sensitive locations, additional forces have been stationed at vulnerable districts, and no-fly zones have been declared over key pilgrimage routes such as Amarnath. The security budget for Jammu and Kashmir has been increased to strengthen their infrastructure and their response capabilities. Let me assure that this government is firmly committed to a zero-tolerance policy towards terrorism.
Members, please maintain silence. Any supplementaries? Minister of Defence, please.
Thank you, madam. The global community has strongly condemned the Pahalgam attack. Canada expressed deep sorrow and stood by India's anti-terror efforts. France termed the act as cowardly and called for stronger global cooperation, and the United States denounced it as barbaric and also declared the TRF, which is an affiliate organization of the banned terrorist organization Tashkar-e-Taiba. This widespread support reflects a clear international consensus that terrorism in any form, I repeat, in any form is unacceptable and nations must
Members, please maintain the decorum.
Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member Anurag.
Honorable Defence Minister, the recent incident in Pahalgam has raised concerns about security in the region and caused worry among tourists and locals about their safety. What steps does the government plan to take to restore public confidence, strengthen ground security, and ensure safety of public?
The Minister, please.
Thank you, ma'am. The incident at Pahalgam is indeed an issue of serious concern. This government has accordingly enhanced the security deployment at the region with joint patrolling from our army, paramilitary forces and our local police. Security deployment, surveillance mechanisms including drone monitoring are being strengthened, and intelligence coordination has been further improved to strengthen the infrastructure. is simultaneously being undertaken to restore confidence and to ensure both tourists and residents a safe environment to reside in.
No more questions, please. Question number 108, Honorable Member Rashmi from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The secondary data assessment of financial inclusion in rural India reveals that many debit and credit card accounts remain unused, and the adoption of digital payments and formal credit remains extremely low among the rural adults. Will the Honorable Minister of Finance be pleased to state what specific steps is the government taking to promote financial literacy among the youth, especially in rural areas, to ensure meaningful financial inclusion and usage?
Minister of Finance, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I thank the Honorable Opposition for the question. Though I must say, it's disappointing to see selective data being to paint a picture of failure. Yes, challenges exist, but opposition cannot deny that, right? This government has taken unprecedented steps to promote financial literacy, especially in rural youth. Coming to the point, under NCFE, we have launched Money Smart School program and integrated financial education in school curricula. Over 51 financial literacy centers and centers for financial literacy operate actively in rural belts, conducting workshops and camps. The Jan Dhan Yojana, PM Mudra Yojana and Digital India Mission have not just opened accounts, but have digitally empowered crores of young citizens. More than 1.4 lakh new accounts were opened in latest phase, paired with awareness drives. Platforms like Mera Yo Bharat are now engaging youth in financial activities at scale. Instead of dismissing progress, I invite the opposition to help and strengthen these efforts and build a strong country, not undermine them for sound bites. Honorable members, this government does not just launch schemes, we deliver on them. That's the difference.
Any supplementaries?
Yes, Madam. Research indicates that under 5%, I repeat, under 5% of rural students receive structured financial education, and the youth aged 10 to 18 remain largely unexposed. Can the Minister explain why school programs have such limited reach and what steps have been taken to mitigate this issue?
Minister of Finance, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, the limited reach of financial education in rural area is due to resource constraints, lack of trained educators, and limited integration into school curricula. To address this, the ministry is working to expand financial literacy programs through programs like partnerships like collaborating with State Education Board and NGOs, digital platforms like Passport to Earning, and teacher training to ensure broader access for youth aged between 10 to 18. Further, we look forward to take more initiatives regarding financial education.
Question number 109, Honorable Member Bevin from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister of Consumer, Food and Public Distribution be pleased to state what step is the Ministry taking to advocate food availability across all districts, especially in rural areas? How is the government addressing price volatility of essential food commodities? And what are the measures in place to control inflation? Also, what is the current status of public distribution system in the nation? And what are the initiatives taken to increase its efficiency?
Minister of Consumer Affairs, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the government has taken several steps to improve and enhance food security in the country. To address the Honorable Member's question, the government's initiative to create decentralized storage capacity through PACS or Public Agricultural Credit Societies is a commendable step. By strengthening the PACS to serve as procurement centers, fair price shops, and storage facilities, we aim to expand the coverage of food security in the country. Furthermore, The world's largest grain storage plant is a visionary project that aims to reduce grain wastage, prevent distress sales, and enable farmers to get better prices for their yields. This plan will not only improve food security but also empower farmers. And coming to inflation and price volatility, the government has also implemented measures for that. The comprehensive program for fruits and vegetables is a welcome initiative that will promote production, efficient supplies, and remunerative prices for farmers. And additionally, the Grameen Credit Score Framework will serve the credit needs of the rural population and the SHG members. Coming to the PDS is an indispensable part of our food security architecture. The government has also taken initiatives to improve the efficiency of the PDS, such as the use of technology, digitalization, and the use of GPS tracking. With this, we can help streamline the distribution process and reduce corruption and make sure that the food grains reach the intended beneficiaries.
Any supplementaries? Minister of Consumer Affairs, please.
Yes, our government is deeply committed to ensure food security for all its citizens, particularly the vulnerable population. We plan to expand the coverage of food security schemes through multiple schemes like the AAY, which is Antyodaya Anna Yojana, which facilitates highly subsidized rates for food grains for the BPL card holders. Also, new schemes like the PMGKAY, which is Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, which was launched during the pandemic, are also in action, which help us provide free food grains to the poor and needy. Also, more schemes like the ICDS, Integrated Child Development Services, are also in action, which help us address the issue of malnutrition in the vulnerable population. Also, the introduction of the revolutionary ONORC, which is One Nation, One Ration card, is a commendable step. ONORC basically integrates all the fair price shops and PDS system in the country, helping migrant workers access PDS and fair price shops anywhere in the country. This is a very good step because the migrant workers make up most of the vulnerable population.
Question number 110, Honorable Member Dharuk from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister of Civil Aviation be pleased to state, despite claims of high safety standard, recent incidents like emergency landing, near misses and maintenance lapses raise serious concern about the aviation safety in India. Critics say
Members, please maintain
privatization
silence.
and expansion have compromised protocols with weak oversight and fatigue staff. I emphasize, critics say rapid privatization and expansion have compromised protocols with weak oversight and fatigue staff. Can the Minister truly assure the nation that safety is the top priority, or are we witnessing a systemic failure driven by negligence and a lack of accountability?
Minister of Civil Aviation, please.
The government recognizes the concern raised by the opposition. However, the questions seem more aimed at politicizing safety rather than seeking a genuine answer. The safety in air travel is our priority, and it's truly disingenuous that the opposition dismisses the extensive measures that we have implemented. While there are several measures that we have done. Air safety in India is under vigilant security by DGCA through regular audits, inspections and checks. While we are investing heavily in the edge-cutting technologies such as the modern aircraft, pilot training programs and more advanced air traffic management systems. Our pilot training programs are world-class, emphasizing simulator trainings and emergency preparedness. If the opposition genuinely cared about the safety, they would have supported the ongoing reforms rather than spreading misinformation.
Any supplementaries?
No, Madam.
Yes, Honorable Member Amit.
Yes, Madam. Honorable Minister, in the wake of the tragic crash of the Air India flight near Ahmedabad, which claimed several innocent lives, this House and the nation await clarity with deep concern. Will the Honorable Minister of Aviation be pleased to state whether the Ministry has taken any new initiative and also about the present status of the official investigation, including the analysis of flight data, cockpit voice recorders, and also elaborate on the immediate and long-term measures being taken by the Ministry to strengthen aviation safety, ensure accountability, and what steps are being taken by the Ministry to provide adequate relief and rehabilitation for the affected families.
Minister of Civil Aviation, please.
The government is committed to making sure that the data from the black box is made available to the public and the relevant parties. We need to do more and act quickly to prevent such incidents in the future. However, the ministry is now working faster to adopt better safety technology, improve pilot training programs, and advanced air traffic management systems, and we are strengthening our regulations to prevent such similar tragedies from happening again.
But Madam Speaker. No more questions, please. Question number 111. Honorable Member Maulia from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is concerning that despite repeated announcements over the year, many ecotourism projects remained on the paper and failed to translate into visible change on the ground.
Please maintain silence.
Tourists and local communities continue to suffer from the lack of timely implementation. So, will the Honorable Minister of Tourism be pleased to state what steps are being taken by the Ministry of Tourism to promote ecotourism in the country?
Minister of Tourism, please.
Honorable Speaker, it is unfortunate that the opposition chooses to highlight isolated shortcomings while ignoring the consistent progress made under central initiatives. Such selective criticism undermines the efforts of countless officials and workers who are implementing tourism reforms on the ground. The following steps have been taken by the Ministry of Tourism to promote ecotourism in India. Starting with National Strategy for Ecotourism. This strategy focuses on key areas like state assessment and ranking, state-specific strategies, capacity building, marketing, destination development, and by public-private partnerships. Furthermore, the Swadesh Darshan scheme. The ministry has identified eco-circuits as one of the thematic circuits for development under the Swadesh Darshan scheme, which aims to develop sustainable and responsible tourism destinations. This scheme provides financial assistance to state governments for developing tourism infrastructure and ecotourism related projects. At last, promotion of sustainable tourism. The ministry actively promotes sustainable tourism practices through various initiatives, including the Travel for Life program, which encourages tourists and tourism businesses to adopt eco-friendly practices. By implementing these measures, the Ministry of Tourism aims to develop India as a leading ecotourism destination while also ensuring the sustainability of its natural and cultural resources.
Any supplementaries?
Yes, madam. The problem of growing waste has been visible for years, yet action often comes after public outcry. The government's slow response risks damaging both the environment and India's tourism reputation. Is the ministry aware of the waste piling up in tourist destinations, and what steps are being taken by the ministry to address this issue?
The Minister, please.
Yes, the Indian Ministry of Tourism is aware of waste piling up at tourist destinations. We address this through initiatives like Swachhta Action Plan and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which involve cleanliness drives, discouraging single-use plastics, and promoting responsible tourism practices.
Question number 112. Honorable Member Anurag from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to say that there are approximately 1 million students in India who are not going to school because of financial limitations. So, will the Minister of Education and Skill Development be pleased to state what steps are being taken by the ministry to reduce the financial burden of education on students and to ensure that quality educations remain affordable and accessible to all?
Minister of Education and Skill Development, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I thank the respected member of the opposition for raising this important question. As the Minister of Education and Skill Development, I would like to assure us that is ensuring affordable, accessible and quality education for every student is one of our top priorities to reduce the financial burden of students.
Members, please maintain silence.
The ministry has taken several key steps, such as scholarships and financial aid. We have expanded need-based and merit-based scholarship schemes for students from economically weaker sections, including pre-matric, post-matric and higher education scholarships, as well as digital learning initiatives. Platforms like Diksha, Swayam and ePathshala are being promoted to provide free and high digital content to students across the country, reducing the cost of textbooks and coaching. Furthermore, under the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, we are improving infrastructure, providing free uniforms, textbooks and midday meals, particularly in government schools. I repeat, particularly in government schools. Additionally, the National Education Policy focuses on inclusive and equitable education. It promotes mother tongue-based learning at the foundational level, reducing the dependency on costly private education.
No more questions, please.
This answer is not relevant and is unsatisfactory. We, the member of opposition...
Members, please maintain the decorum. Members, please. No more questions, please. Question number 113. Honorable Member Prithvi from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister of Agriculture be pleased to state that despite government's repeated promises to double farmers' income, the ground reality shows that increasing farmers' distress and raising input costs? Can the Ministry explain what concrete steps have been taken to actually benefit small and marginal farmers and how the Ministry is measuring the impact of these schemes on the ground?
Minister of Agriculture, please.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं संसद के माननीय किंतु हमारे समुदाय ने पहले से ही इस विषय पर आधारित कई योजनाएं जिसमें कि प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान निधि, प्रधानमंत्री किसान मानधन योजना, परिवर्तित मौसम आधारित फसल योजना इत्यादि शामिल है। मैं यह भी सुझाती हूँ कि इन योजनाओं का प्रभाव अब तक किसानों की जीवात्मा तक नहीं पहुँच पाया, लेकिन फिर भी किसी भी कार्य का असर कुछ अचानक से तो हो नहीं जाता, और फिर ये केवल हमारा कार्य नहीं बल्कि भारत के प्रत्येक नागरिक का कार्य है कि वो किसानों की ज़रूरतों पर ध्यान दे। यदि किसी को कोई असहाय किसान मिले तो पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट लिटिगेशन के द्वारा हमें उससे सूचित करें। मैं यह बात विपक्ष सभा को भी कहना चाहूँगी। मैं विपक्ष सभा से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि वो इन मुद्दों को राजनीतिक दृष्टिकोण से ना देख के सामाजिक दृष्टिकोण से देखें। मान्यवर, हमने हमारे द्वारा लिए गए योजनाओं के प्रभावों को मापने के लिए भी कई कदम उठाए हैं, जैसे किसानों की जीवात्मा पर सर्वेक्षण देना, स्वतंत्र प्रभाव गदों का आचरण करना तथा आय सृजन गतिविधियों तथा फसल विविधता को बढ़ावा देना। उम्मीद करती हूँ विपक्ष सभा को संतोष मिला हो।
Any supplementaries?
No, Madam Speaker.
Question number 114. Honorable Member Sinchana from the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As we all know, day by day, the rising burden of non-communicable disease is rising, and people are dying from this type of diseases, and we have to take serious action on it. So, will the Minister of Health and Family Welfare be pleased to state what strategies are used by the Ministry to control the rising burden of non-communicable disease like cancer and diabetes?
Minister of Health and Family Welfare, please.
धन्यवाद माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया। इस प्रश्न को सभा में लाने के लिए मैं विपक्ष पार्टी को धन्यवाद कहना चाहती हूँ। स्वास्थ्य और परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय द्वारा कैंसर और मधुमेह जैसी गैर संचारी बीमारियों को नियंत्रित करने के लिए अपनाई गई रणनीतियाँ भारत में एनपीसीडीएस के बढ़ते बोझ से निपटने के लिए विभिन्न रणनीतियाँ अपनाई गई है, जिनमें शामिल है एनपीसीडीएस, कैंसर, मधुमेह, हृदय रोग और स्ट्रोक की रोकथाम के लिए नियंत्रित राष्ट्रीय कार्यक्रम।
Any supplementaries?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Is the Ministry aware of number of people affected by this non-communicable disease?
Minister of Health and Family Welfare, please.
हाँ, स्वास्थ्य और परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय द्वारा एनपीसीडीएस के आम के बोझ से आमतौर पर अवगत है, जिसमें प्रभावित लोगों की संख्या भी शामिल है। NPCDS के प्रसार और घटना पर डेटा विभिन्न स्वास्थ्य सूचना प्रणाली के माध्यम से नियमित रूप से एकत्र किया जाता है, ताकि नीतिगत निर्णय और कार्यक्रम को सूचित किया जा सके।
This now concludes the question hour.
But, Madam Speaker, what concrete step will your ministry take to stop the growing menace of drug peddling in our country, and what measures will be implemented to ensure effective enclosement of drug peddlers?
Madam, a serious breach of privilege has been committed by media houses. Several social media are commenting on the parliamentarians and passing caustic comments on the lawmakers. Our social media houses attributed dishonest motives, and I request you to allow me to raise a question on this matter now.
Honorable Member Ananya, have you given a notice of it earlier? You may give a due notice along with a copy of newspaper cuttings, and I shall consider it. You can't spring a surprise on me like this.
I have already given a notice of it at 9:30 a.m. today.
It will be examined when it comes to me. I shall consider it and let you know my decision. Papers to be laid on the table of the House by the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Minister Janvi, to lay on the table a copy of review by the government on the working of State Farm Corporation of India Limited for the year 2025-26.
Madam, I beg to lay on the table a copy each of the following papers, Hindi and English versions under subsection 1619A of the Companies Act 1956. Firstly, review by the government on the working of the State Farm Corporation of India Limited for New Delhi for the year 2025 to 2026. Secondly, the annual report of the State Farm Corporation of India, New Delhi for the year 2025 to 2026.
Secretary General to report the message from the upper chamber.
I have to report the following message received from the Secretary of the Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament. In accordance with the provision of the rules of the procedure and the conduct of business in the Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament, I am hereby directed to enclose the copy of the bill, the Railways Amendment of the Bill 25.
Secretary General to lay on the table a copy of bill as passed by the upper chamber.
Madam, I lay on the table of the House a copy of the bill as passed by the Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament.
Honorable members, I have to make an important announcement. On the House's behalf, I have great pleasure in extending our warm and heartfelt welcome to the Honorable Member Nihal from the Fijian delegation. And to the Honorable Member Vamshit from the Cambodian delegation. It is a very high-powered delegation. The delegations arrived to our country on 19th of August 2025. They are now seated in the special box. We wish them a happy and fruitful stay in our country. Honorable members, we now have a calling attention motion to discuss a matter of urgent public importance. Honorable Member Likhit from the opposition has given a notice to call the attention of the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology to the rising concern over the online gaming addiction among the secondary school children.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to draw the attention of the House and the Honourable Minister of Electronics and Information Technology to a growing menace plaguing our youth online gaming addiction. Recent studies indicate a disturbing rise in mental health issues, social isolation, and declining in academic performances directly linked to excessive online gaming among secondary school children. Parents and educators are deeply worried. What immediate steps is the government taking to address this pressing issue?
Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, please.
Madam Speaker, I share honourable members' concern regarding the online gaming addiction. This is indeed serious issue affecting our youth. The government is actively engaged reason addressing it through by several initiatives, awareness campaigns, launching nationwide public awareness campaigns in collaboration with schools and NGOs to educate children, parents and teachers about the risk of online gaming addiction and promoting responsible gaming, advisory guidelines, issuing advisories to online gaming platform to incorporate features that promote responsible gaming such as self-exclusion option, time limits and age verification, mental health support, collaborating with relevant agencies to collaborating with healthcare providers to provide counseling and support services for children affected by gaming addiction. We are also integrating mental health awareness into school curriculums, research and data, supporting research into psychological and social impact of online gaming to inform policy decisions.
Madam, awareness campaigns are important, but are they enough? Online gaming companies are aggressively marketing their products. Is the government considering stricter regulations on these platforms? Perhaps a ban on certain addictive games, and what steps are being taken to curb the financial exploitation associated with some of these games?
Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, please.
Honorable Member, the government is continuously reviewing existing and exploring options for stricter controls where necessary, including responsible advertising guidelines. We are also collaborating with relevant agencies to investigate and curb any instances of financial exploitation. Our aim is to strike a balance between digital innovation and safeguarding the well-being of our youth.
Honorable members, we will now move on to the legislative business. The Youth Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Promotion Bill 2025 will now be introduced for consideration. Minister of Education and Skill Development, please introduce the bill.
Madam, I beg to move for relief to introduce the Youth Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Promotion Bill 2025. Its key provisions include establishing a national skill university with decentralized campuses, providing seed funding and mentorship for young entrepreneurs, mandatory vocational training in secondary schools across diverse sectors, creating a digital platform to connect skilled youth with employment opportunities and industry demands, offering scholarships and interest-free loans for skill-based education.
The question is, the leave be granted to promote the Youth Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Promotion Bill 2025. Those who are in favor will say A, and those who are against it will say nay. Those who are in favor, please say A. A. And those who are against it, please say nay. Nay. I think the A's have it. The A's have it. The A's have it. The leave is granted. Honorable members, we have had a productive and spirited discussion today on critical issues in our nation. Your active participation and thoughtful contributions are commendable. I commend the ministers for their responses and the opposition for their vigilance. The House stands adjourned to meet again on 22nd of August at 10 a.m.
Honorable Speaker,